Beautiful.
So welcome to the World Tour of Meditation. Our purpose is to debunk myths around meditation, to make peace, calm, and joy so much more accessible to you, wherever you are. And today I'm so thrilled to have with us Ashley and Varid joining us from Mount Shasta, the home of the Stargate. Welcome, Ashley and Varid.
Thank you. Welcome.
Good, good. In the background to the side of Ashley is the Stargate that they're going to tell us all about. Varid has had a most interesting background. He spent time with Osho, and then I think in 1990 came across the Stargate, met an old friend of his, and a few years ago Ashley stumbled upon it and has been with the Stargate ever since.
Cool.
Yeah.
You guys want to add? You guys and girls want to add?
You go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So, I came to the Stargate in 2016 for a New Year's intensive. New Year's was coming up, and I had been involved with like parties and things, and I really did not want to go to a party or be around a party. I had this vision of like renting a house in the mountains and maybe having some friends and maybe even like meditating over New Year.
Crazy.
I know. What an idea.
Pretty crazy thought to have.
Yeah, but even crazier, my friend then asked me if I want to go to a meditation workshop in Mount Shasta over New Year's. And I was like, yes, please. So I drove up from LA to Shasta, and as soon as I drove into town the first time, I had this overwhelming feeling that this is home. And so I knew I'm moving here as soon as possible. And then I went to the workshop, and on the first day I met Varid. We hugged goodnight, and the whole rest of the night my whole body was tingling. And I thought, wow, Hug's never done that before. This is kind of weird. So the next morning I went up to him and we agreed to have another hug before the weekend was over. And then I got invited to dinner and we spent more time together, and we ended up realizing that there's just this powerful, like heart-opening, higher knowing of like, we are meant to be together. And so we got together, and I moved to Shasta, and I've been here for 4 years now. I've been working with the Stargate. We live at the Stargate home with Prageet and Jules, who are the main figures of the Stargate work. And it's been a really fun adventure.
Thank you, Ashley. Varid?
Yeah. And for me, well, the phrase comes into my mind, step out into the indications of where you must go. That's a Rumi's quote. That's how it feels like right now for me. Because just to finish that one off, the experience of coming together with Ashley was as profound, and I could spend the next 45 minutes describing what happened to me, but I'm not going to. Now, what happened was I was an Osho sannyasin in 1977. I've known Prageet, the creator of the Stargate on this dimensional reality. I've known him since before then. We've known each other over 40 years. So at the time in 1990, like you said, I came into contact with the Stargate. It was following having had a kind of identity as a sannyasin, as an Osho disciple. And that was it for me. I didn't need anything else. I certainly didn't need any of this New Age claptrap. And my friend was on Maui and started channeling and started doing groups or sessions, and eventually built this Stargate. Well, I didn't know until he sent me a piece of paper saying, this is what I'm doing now. And I thought he'd lost it, completely lost it. And because I know he's also, like me, very cynical about anything that, you know, surprisingly, we both fell in love with Osho, and there was never a doubt. So by chance, you call it coincidence or synchronicity, in 1990 or so, we came through the same town at the same time, and I got in the back of his car to spend the weekend with him and to experience this. I was curious about the Stargate, so okay. And of course, the rest is history, as they say, because I could not doubt the energetic. I could not discount the wisdom that was coming through his guide, Alcazar is called. And I also tried to discount, but could not and will not ever forget, at one point in that first weekend, looking at the Stargate and feeling my heart open and knowing I know this energetic aura. And that was very strange. You know, a bunch of copper pipes at the time. So we're at the point now where we can actually do what we're here in this little interview with you, which is to introduce people to the Stargate and this, what we call the Stargate work. And if I could frame that before we get into it, that's going to take the form of, at the end of this small section of time, we're going to offer you a meditative Stargate experience. And that's the best form of description we can even think of offering. Leading up to that, we're going to do our best to help you put aside any doubts you have or questions you have about what it is you're experiencing. So we're going to talk to the male mind and then allow the feminine to experience, so that the male mind can relax and allow it potentially to happen. Because we wouldn't still be here if we weren't actually being fulfilled with that experience. And so the way that will take form is, to begin with, we'll describe what we can about the Stargate as an energetic. And then the second part will be how we use it.
That sounds wonderful.
So, and then the last part will be the meditation.
Perfect. So describing what it is as an energetic, how we use it, and then the meditation.
Right.
Before we embark on that, I have two clarificatory questions on what you asked, on what you said. You mentioned when you saw it that your heart opened, you had an open heart. If people don't know what those words mean, could you explain that? And you also use the terms male mind and the feminine. And I was wondering, because we have a very broad audience here, people who are well into channeling, people who are not at all. So, yes.
Well, the best, the way I haven't used, interestingly, today to describe that experience, when I was sat on a chair watching Prageet build it, and he just completed the last piece at the top, which was the pyramid that goes on the top. Mm-hmm. And I was sat looking at it, just watching, you know, like you'd be watching almost a television. But I'm watching him before the evening start. There's no meditation going on, there's probably music in the background. And I felt like I was looking at the beloved. Now that really doesn't explain it to someone who doesn't know that language either, but it's like, all I can say, it was a kind of a mystical moment. That's all I can say. It's like, it didn't make sense. And I didn't own it for at least 20 years because it clashed with my cynicism about all that would mean. So there's the answer about the other one. The male mind I have inside, and I have luckily a healthy dose, I would hope to say, of the feminine, which allows the sensitivity, the feeling, and trusting some knowingness beyond the mind. Because the mind's a beautiful tool, but it's programmed.
Yeah, I mean, the male-female thing, we have male and female minds and male and female feelings, which is a very large subject to try to go over. It's just that masculine energy is kind of associated more with thinking, and feminine energy is associated more with feeling.
Thank you. That's perfect clarification.
Thank you.
20 years of cynicism. even after that moment of seeing the beloved?
You know, it's not, I would say I agree. Yeah, that's not an exaggeration. It's not that I've held the same amount of like, this is bullshit, you know, what am I doing here? But I'm still capable of like holding things that I have to accept as being a part of all this that I actually don't know. All I've got to go on is what's experience coming in that I do trust. And that was fundamentally initiated with my experiences with Osho. He, you know, it's like, for me, that's the grounding of my spiritual work. And Osho was very much about not just having the experience, but putting it into your life in a way that's meaningful. You know.
Can you tell us about that in the context of the Stargate then, the first part of what you wanted to share? What is the experience of the Stargate?
Okay. He's going to answer
Here
that.
we go.
Here we go.
That was the first part of what you wanted to share.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
the Stargate is a sacred geometric construction that emanates an energy field.
it anchors a higher dimensional consciousness the way that our consciousness is anchored in our bodies.
Pretty much, it's like not everybody, but most people will listening to this program will probably have been exposed to the concept that we are more than our physical, mental construct.
That's fair.
So what the Stargate language is very much through Alcazar calls that part of our greater reality, our super consciousness. He says that there's a small amount of that super consciousness in our physical bodies. And our journey as seekers, which is what the whole world of meditation is actually aimed at finding, is to bring that super consciousness more and more and more anchored into our physical reality. And through doing that, in that process, we awaken, which involves a lot of different processes and understandings. And we also can start from that place, start to create a different reality, a different life for each of us individually and for all of us globally. So yes, the Stargate anchors a higher dimensional intelligence, consciousness, and radiates that energetic all the time. It also, we can call on this consciousness, and it doesn't mean we have to have a physical one right next to us or even near us. We can, and as we will introduce to your audience, when we do the meditation, we will call in an etheric Stargate, which is the consciousness of the Stargate. So hang in, we will experience what we're talking about, at least hopefully. What else have we got to say about the Stargate?
Well, you want to show us?
Yeah, we show you. So you can see all the geometry. It's a very intricate design.
It's a beautiful design. You know, it's a standalone, beautiful object.
You know, honestly, the first time I saw it, giant big at the home of the Stargate, I thought it looked like a big giant spider and looked scary. And I what big house is this?
That's so funny.
That's great.
Yeah, we have a 10.5-foot Stargate in the living room.
Yeah, you can get 12 people easily standing in it, as you know.
Yeah, so the Stargate is meant to help us accelerate our awakening. And so it offers that by radiating this high vibrational energy that can allow us to reach these deep levels of connection with our super consciousness, with the guides, the masters, the beings who are available to assist us very easily. And the thing about the Stargate, which I love, is it's really about just relaxing into the energy field. And then by relaxing, you just this openness happens. There isn't anything particular that you have to do to reach the states that you want to reach. They just come to you as you relax.
Yeah, I would say, looking back on the journey I've had with the Stargate, and like taking in relatively the journey I've had with since Osho, is that this is like being on a super highway as far as accessing that, what I used to call the meditative experience, the meditation experience, you know. It works. You know, that's all we can do. It's like we have the explanation. Like I said, there's the cynic would go, oh yeah, it's a super, you know, it's a bunch of tubes, you know. Well, the fact is, you give it an opportunity, you decide to, okay, I'll be open to that possibility that what you're saying is not bullshit. So then you sit in the field, and nothing has worked as powerfully, as fast, at taking me to the places that I've gone with the Stargate and continue to. The work has evolved into, it's nowhere, don't ask me to explain or describe it. It's very different now than it was 20 years ago.
Why do you think that the Stargate is so powerful at providing a high-speed highway to experience meditation, to experience your super consciousness?
Can I say that, you know, what Alcazar said is the Stargate comes to planetary systems that are in the process of making an evolutionary leap. And as we all know, as we're sitting around in this period of time, we are facing an evolutionary leap. And it's coming to everybody, actually, whether they like it or not. And this, in '89, the Stargate was introduced to the planet through Pradeep, and Alcazar said, since then, it's an interdimensional doorway, meaning it accesses other dimensional realities. And yeah, so.
And really, what comes to mind for me is like, it's its nature. And because it's it's really just a highly developed being that's here to assist us just in a body that we're not really used to relating to as conscious. And that it kind of acts as a magnet for us to remember that we are also highly intelligent, super loving, multidimensional beings. Yeah. And so that just being in the energy reactivates that within our own fields.
And why is it that when that energy gets reactivated in our own fields, as I've experienced when I come on intensives, all of these emotions come up?
Yeah.
That's the
other part of the work.
Yes,
that
to make a whole, it's got the two parts. We're moving to the other side where, because we are all vibration. The science that's beginning to evolve on the planet with people like Bruce Lipton, Nazim Harriman, Greg Braden, those kind of guys and others who have worked in the quantum physics and are now quantum reality, and they're working with their understanding of consciousness. They're bringing this understanding. What are we talking about again? How the Stargate brings up these unresolved.
It's like we're all vibration. This is one of the understandings most of us have heard somewhere along the line. We're just all vibration. Well, the Stargate is vibration. It's a higher vibration. And it's gentle also. It's not like, boom, wake up. It will provide each individual with the kind of energy field around them that they need. And as we will explore in our offering, guiding you up through the levels, if you like, of vibration to a place where what we call the 12th, it's just a number that we use, which is then easier to access that superconscious quantum reality experience. Now, it's all vibration. So when we as children, the first 7 years of our lives, we're brought up, as the Jesuits used to say, give me a child till 7 and I give you the man. That describes the conditioning. That describes, this is a whole topic we could spend days of trying to explain, but
spend 2 minutes or less on it.
Yeah, good. And it's like the conditioning is a bunch of basically repressed thoughts and emotions and beliefs, a construct that you end up calling your personality, your identity. And that contains a whole bunch of limitations, which are all vibration, which are you're sending out into the universe. This is where the cynic could jump in, but now I've had enough experience to know it's true. You're sending out an energy that the universe responds to. So you're creating your reality all the time with the vibration you're putting out. Now, what happens when you lift your energy up through this, whatever technique works for you, if it lifts your energy into a higher vibration from where you can understand and see yourself in a new light, put it that way, what also starts to happen is these higher vibrations will start bringing up the stuck, dense, lower vibrations into your energy, into your conscious awareness. Mm-hmm. It's like, that can sometimes just be tears and not know, why am I crying? For many people, it can be joy that you've not been allowing. It will be all those things that are repressed. And that's the other side of the work that I really value as being, that makes for me a distinction between the Stargate, which could be easily tagged as a New Age phenomena, but it's like, it has its grounding. Maybe that's the influence of Osho, who knows? But it's certainly the work of Alcazar, the guy that Brigitte brings through, to help individuals wake up to that stuff that is holding them back.
Yeah, so that stuff gets brought up for you to see and understand from that super conscious perspective, so that you're not in it. You can see, oh, I've been living this way, and this is why, this is where it comes from, and oh, look, it was just this misunderstanding. And now that understanding, sometimes it needs understanding, comes in, and it can just dissolve that pattern from your field. And so that energy that was magnetizing certain experiences to you isn't there anymore.
We have to be careful about, like, in a sense, promising it. The one thing that Alcazar constantly says, it can disappear, this stuff can disappear simply and easily in this energy field and with a little bit of understanding. Some of it can disappear without any awareness of it, just in the energy field.
So when you have to be careful about promising, what do you mean?
Well, you've got to be careful about promising that, because there's something that comes under the notion of magic. You know, it's like there's not really an explanation. It's just in the energy field. And there's some things that really do need conscious awareness. When you said patterns, issues can get resolved. And then you have to deal with the patterning that you've adopted to survive that. We're talking about the inner child stuff. And many people in the meditative community think they've done their inner child work. We're still doing it here. It's like, unless you're walking around transforming water into wine, baby. You haven't done, you're finished. You're in it. You know, it's like, what else is there to do?
Yeah, what else is there to do?
Yeah, exactly. Well, enjoy the laughter. I mean, that was one of the other things at the beginning that really hooked me onto the Stargate, was that Alcazar was hilarious. He was one of the funniest people I'd ever been around. Well, not even a person. You know. So I love the humor. If it's just not funny, I don't believe it. You know, it's not real.
I really appreciate what you just shared with us, particularly about how when we do any practice that brings us to a super high vibe, um, it stirs up. It can stir up, at least that's my understanding of what you said. It can stir up all these blocks and repressed bits and gunk that we have.
Yeah.
Then we have the opportunity to, well, and then either some of it just disappears without us even knowing, because some people say you don't even need to notice it, it just goes. Or, and then sometimes we have the opportunity to shine the light of understanding on it, and then it goes away. And sometimes we do that, and we still gotta pay attention to the pattern, though the program is gone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I did ask Alcazar one time what happens if you don't deal with the patterns. And he said, you start to grow new roots into the issue.
How do we not do that?
Well, awareness, and the awareness is kind of the consequence that we've all, at least I have with Osho, built into our meditative practice.
Well, that's what meditative practices really are.
That's what it is.
Becoming more aware of yourself.
Of who you are.
How does awareness, so in a specific context, such as like a pattern comes up and, you know, you shine understanding on it, how does awareness like simply allow you not to grow new roots? Like, you know, you notice, because you couldn't you be aware and notice yourself doing it and still do it with awareness?
Well, yeah, you can, but you're aware of it. So when whatever situation it is that comes up again, you know, oh, this is that same pattern. And then you have the choice. Do I want to still live this pattern? Do I want to react the same way or not? But even just that question is already a change, a step in awareness.
Sometimes it really does help to have someone who really can see can see a little bit clearer. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it really is about having a friend or someone you know and you trust who can help you see stuff, because, you know, denial is a very strong human condition. It's planetary. And, you know, and it's like, we get very tricky, developed very tricky ways of survival. And denial is one of those, that there's anything going on. But I mean, we've done a lot of the inner child work with each other. And it's sometimes, do you know that one where when you get something, you go, oh my God, why couldn't I see that? It was so fucking obvious. Excuse my language. Yeah, it's like, it's become so simple when you can see it. But before, sometimes it's just, and it's sometimes just a very, very slight difference of perception. So that's why I say about, you got to be careful what you promise, because it does take attention to detail. It does take that kind of commitment and intention to be free.
That's exactly what I was about to say. That Alcazar often says it's about attention, intention, and attention. So the intention to change and the attention when it's time, like, okay, now I'm putting it in practice right here.
That's beautiful. Thank you. And that answered the question I had so perfectly.
Okay.
Because there was a sense of, well, I can be aware, because with my particular pattern, you know, I could be aware, but am I gonna like, but I think what you've highlighted for me is then there is the intention, there is the choice, and noticing, oh, there is that choice.
Mm.
And I love what you added, Varid, about sometimes a mirror in the form of a human person
Yeah.
more clearly at that moment.
Just, I feel we've kind of actually covered both these areas quite well now.
Yeah.
Just popped into my head was often at the moment the phrase Alcazar is using a lot is encouraging us towards abundance on all levels, and it's like that encapsulates somehow the offer that's behind the Stargate work. There is a way to move towards a different reality than the one we've come from and the one we're being asked right now to very, very much engage in. And that's a very beautiful concept for a new reality to live in on this planet. Abundance on all levels.
Is there any more that you wish to say on that?
Abundance on all levels. Well, I mean, it goes back to how we are all creating our own reality. So what reality do you want to create? Getting clear on that, and then starting to draw it to you by, in a sense, vibrating it, magnetizing it to you. And so abundance on all levels is like abundance of friendship, abundance of experiences in nature, abundance of delicious food, abundance of feeling good in your body, abundance of money, abundance of all the good things. And the more that we can tune into the feeling that we have in those states of like when I'm on a walk in the trees and saying, this phrase that Alcazar loves to share with people is "thank you, bring me more." And so in places where you're feeling really good and it's like, wow, I want more of this in my life, just saying thank you, bring me more beautiful walks in nature. And then that starts to magnetize to you, that sends out a message to existence, I want that, and brings that, starts to bring more of that into your life.
Yeah, it's like this thing of awareness, becoming aware of what you're magnetizing to you by default, in a way, by your subconscious, programmed child who is surviving, not necessarily in a bad situation, but incredible how we've seen in the groups, how just a small incident, that isn't even a heavy incident, can create a reality for people that they perpetuate in their lives in terms of choices. And it's you know, the magic's working. It's just working against us, if you like. It's like we want to become aware of what it is that we're doing that we don't want to create, and changing it into. And the Stargate is a someone called it the best delivery system I've come across. And I thought that was an apt description. It delivers a way to wake up. It delivers a way to become more aware. It delivers a way to access your super consciousness, the more of you, and bring it higher into your physicality. And there's a lot more. I mean, you'll connect to our website with the free gift, and on the website you can link to the original Stargate experience. There's tons of free audios on all sorts of topics and stories. So it's like there's a huge umbrella out there for access if you're drawn to it.
Let's get into an experience, shall we?
Yes, it's time.
Yes.
Good.
So we're gonna have a Stargate meditation, and we're gonna share some little tips to have the best experience possible.
Yeah.
So first I'll just lay out what the what I call the building the energy field meditation looks like, because it has generally a certain form. So we start with inviting the energies of the earth, and then we'll call for the activation of the Stargate, which is really just us, a way for us to open to working with the Stargate. And then we'll go up through the different dimensions. We'll stop at the 12th, and
we'll ask for things.
Yeah, and then we'll ask for different guides to come and join us.
Well, it's important that when we say I invite each person listening to ask inside quietly, silently, to strengthen the invitation.
Because we ask you to ask yourself, because the guides are responding to you individually. The Stargate and the beings we'll invite are responding to your intention to connect with them. And so when you're asking, then they can respond to you. So if you want to have an experience, if you want to see what's possible out there,
go along with it.
Just invite them in and see what happens.
Yeah, and we're talking about guides. We're talking about other beings. Are we going to go there?
The angels, the ascended masters.
I get the feeling there's a whole topic there we can't and don't have time to cover, but it's included and incorporated very much. It's not called a Stargate for no reason. It assumes, or we're asking you to assume or believe, that we are not necessarily originally human and could have some connection to beyond this planet. So, beings, masters are in another dimension. And
but the experience could work regardless of whether you believe that or not, right?
Absolutely. Just all we say is be open to the possibility. And then if you experience it, it becomes your reality.
Great.
Unless you're like me and you deny it for 20 years anyway.
And the last thing, I think it's the last thing, is to close your eyes during the meditation. And that is so you can become more sensitive to the field, the energy, the quantum field around you, rather than the 3D. And with all of that, I think we're ready. Yeah, so we're gonna turn off our camera and
close your eyes.
Take you on a journey.
Yeah. So make yourself comfortable. You can lie down, sit down, any position that's comfortable. The important thing is to be able to relax.
And so
there's a link to music that you can play alongside, which
is posted below the video. The music can help you relax a little deeper if you would like it. And so the link is available to download, and then you can play it along. And so just getting comfortable, closing the eyes, and taking a few deep breaths. Breathing in a little slower and deeper than usual.
Feeling yourself in the body, present in the body, and relaxed.
And so we'll begin by inviting the presence of Mother Earth, the presence of Gaia, to bring her energy up into our bodies and into our energy fields. And so we ask each one of you to ask inside for the energy of the earth.
We call on the energy of Gaia to come up into our physical bodies and surround us and feel as you may detect a very subtle, gentle energy surrounding you, grounding you into this experience.
Simply allowing for the possibility that the earth can respond to you.
Mhm. Good. And so we are beginning to activate the Stargate next, and imagine the picture, if you like, of what you saw, or even a pyramid. Just imagine a Stargate forming around you. So we're calling for the activation of each of our etheric Stargates that are surrounding us now.
And the stargates begin radiating a very gentle energy field throughout our etheric stargates. And the stargates begin raising the vibration out of the third dimensional frequencies and into the fourth dimension. And the stargate vibrating faster and faster and continuing up into the fifth dimensional frequencies now, and continuing to accelerate, merging now with the sixth dimensional frequencies and continuing to vibrate faster and faster, and merging now with the seventh dimensional frequencies. And here we ask our etheric stargates to come to a pause.
Just feel this seventh dimensional energy field radiating from the Stargate and surrounding you, and asking inside for this seventh dimensional frequency to get stronger.
We call for a strong seventh dimensional energy field in our etheric stargate.
And just see if there's any sense of an energy change, a vibrational change around you. And as I said before, just be open to the possibility that this actually may be happening to you.
And it's okay if you don't feel anything yet. The stargate is there, working with you at the level that's perfect for you in this moment. And now we ask the stargates to again begin raising their vibrations. So the stargate vibrating faster now and merging up into the eighth dimensional frequencies and continuing to accelerate, moving up now into the ninth dimension and continuing to vibrate faster and faster. The stargates moving up into the 10th dimension and vibrating quite rapidly now as we merge into the 11th dimensional frequencies. And the stargates accelerating, vibrating faster and faster, and merging with the 12th dimension. And here again, we invite the stargates to pause. And so we ask each one of you to ask inside. We call for a strong 12th dimensional energy field in our etheric stargate.
And remembering each of us and the whole of reality is vibration. And we're now sitting in or lying in a higher vibrational energy field. And as we acclimatize to that field around us and within us, our own energy will begin to vibrate with it. our higher consciousness is more easily accessible from this higher vibrational rate. The work of the Stargate right now is simply to surround you with a higher vibrational rate so that your superconsciousness is much easier accessed. So just allowing this space where we are vibrating with the Stargate and relaxing into it. There's nothing to do. And in this field, we invite in a few of the masters that have walked on this planet who are in that realm and are still here to support the evolution of humanity.
And so we'll begin by inviting the presence of the angelic realm. And so we ask each one of you to ask inside for the presence of the angels.
The angels are well known in our human literature, our human past. So it may be easier for some of us to imagine the angels.
We call for the presence of the angels to come into our etheric stargates.
And feel as they bring their presence into this space. And you can invite them, if you wish, to come closer. You can invite them to demonstrate that they are present. You can call them closer if you wish.
And so just relaxing into the energies of the angels.
And another being that's always been part of the Stargate work, kind of oversees what's happening, is the being known as the Blessed Mother, Mary. So we call for the presence of the Blessed Mother to bring her heart energy, her love for humanity into this field.
We call for the presence of the Blessed Mother Mary, or Maria, to bring her presence here.
And feel as she comes closer to you in this energy field now.
Bringing her divine motherly energy and embracing you in her love.
And another being we bring in as a balance. It will be a divine masculine energy as it was on this planet, Gautama the Buddha. So we call for the presence of the Lord Buddha to bring his energy into this space for each of us now. Each of us inside asking for the presence of the Lord Buddha.
And feel as the Buddha brings his energy to you. Nothing to do.
And feel as that energy descends into this space. And connects into your energy field, calling for the support, for the tangible support of this energy right now. And there's one more energy we like to call in. to this energy experience. And that is our super consciousness, each of us asking for a strong connection to our own superconscious energy field.
Inviting more of our super consciousness to come into our energy fields.
And feel.
And just the invitation, the intention, and the openness to feeling your own super consciousness. Nothing to do.
This energy is your guide. This is your connection to the grander you.
This is the grander you.
Yeah.
Your vast self. That you're on a journey to rediscovering. So just feeling your super consciousness responding to you. Very good.
Taking the moment to savor this connection. And maybe just through acknowledging that this reality exists, you can call it back whenever you wish. We've reached a time when our super consciousness can really guide us into a new reality. It takes our courage, our ability to listen and to trust, and to be willing to step out into the indications of where you must go to be free.
And so now bringing your awareness to your physical body, feeling yourself, your consciousness connected to this physicality, and taking a nice deep breath. Allowing this beautiful energy field to be soaked up by each of our cells. And very slowly and gently bringing our awareness back into the room. Very slowly and very gently coming back.
Thank you.
Lovely for us.
It's often good to drink some water after a meditation.
I would drink, but my water is far away.
Well, I think we're done.
Yeah, I hope that was a good experience for everyone.
And if people want to learn more and want to listen to anything more you have to offer, can you tell us what you're offering and where they can find you?
Yes. So we are offering a 3-minute channeling from Alcazar that describes really well what we were trying to describe about the Stargate in 3 minutes. And we're also creating a meditation to connect you with what we call the star families, and also a star song, which I will describe to you what that is. So the star families, the concept is that we all came from another planetary civilization. Our consciousness has lived in other planetary civilizations in this universe and beyond. So I know that can be like a lot to digest, but I'm open to that possibility. I have felt the connection of these star beings, such as like the Pleiadians, the Arcturans, the Hathors. Some of you might have heard of these things before. And what's happened for me is during one Stargate intensive, I just felt like singing all the time. And then one night my neck was hurting, so I sang it a song and it felt better. And so I was really excited, and I shared that with the group the next day. And Alcazar was like, "Do you know what you're doing?" And I was like, "I'm singing a song." And he's like, "No, you're connecting with your star family, and they're sharing these sound transmissions with you." And I thought, wow, that's cool. And it seems to be helpful to people. I've sung a song for a couple of people, and one of them just started crying and said, "I sing that song to myself in the shower every day, and I've never sang that to anyone before." And so Alcazar has said that it can help activate more of your multidimensional DNA, which is the connection between your humanness and your superconsciousness. And so I'm going to share a song, and we're going to offer a meditation to
Prepare the way.
Connect you with these star families and see if you have any connection with them.
And where can people learn more about you?
Well, how do they, well, our website.
Yeah, we'll have the link to the website probably down below.
We'll do that. Perfect.
I think the Alcazar, the 3-minute Alcazar channeling would also just be straight underneath, right?
Okay, sure.
And then on the website will be the free gift. You'll find it on there. We'll make it clear.
And pretty.
Thank you both so very much.
Well, thank you, Daksha. It's been really great fun doing this.
Thank you. I'm really glad you both could do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, us too. And thank you for creating this for everyone. Yeah. It's beautiful.
And we won't say anything about having done this the second time because the first one didn't really feel so good.
I'll be sure not to edit that out.
Don't say anything about that.
Take 2.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
let's hope we don't need take 3.